Hi there, it's Denise. About a year ago, I created a 7-step guide that provided an overview on how to get set up to work from home, or basically anywhere there's an internet connection. I decided to create this guide combining research that I performed online myself, combined with 3 years of experience freelancing remotely myself. I decided to create a video series called Income in Mind that adds value to each of the steps on the guide. The first step actually talks about how to rewrite your resume and create a presence online, considering that you will be competing against many professionals from all over the world. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first step. All right, so as I mentioned before, we're going to jump to the first step of the 7 steps to work from home guide. If you don't have access to this guide yet, please follow the link below or above this video for free access. So as you can see here, we have a little roadmap that's got the 7 steps, and the first step is define your skills and build your resume. So we're going to get started with the first step. Step 1, define your skills and build your resume. So why is it important to define your skills? Many of us have had the opportunity to develop our professional career in various industries, performing different roles and tasks. Maybe you have worked as a barista, an administrative assistant. Maybe you've also worked in customer support, or maybe even as a TV presenter. This provides us with a whole pack of different skills and abilities, but they may not always be relevant to the type of job opportunity that we are currently seeking. It is important to decide what kind of opportunity you will be aiming at and define and highlight the skills that are actually important. A good example is of somebody who is and has all the skills required of a project manager. This project manager could have experience working for both the telecommunications and the technology industries. This person would be able to apply and work in a project for both call centers or software implementations, for example. So let's just quickly recap. First, what you want to do is that you want to decide on the type of job opportunity that you will pursue. You will define your skills based on that opportunity, and you will highlight the skills that are more relevant to the opportunity that you are applying for. So going back to the project manager example, you will want to include any relevant experience as a project manager, but when applying for a technology project, you will want to highlight the skills relevant to the technology industry. So now that we have that clear, let's move on to building your resume. When applying for a remote job opportunity, take into account that you cannot use the same resume copy that you currently use and keep adding to. You are competing with professionals from all over the world, and the recruitment processes are quite different from traditional processes. The main reason? ATS, which stands for Applicant Tracking System. Employers now use applicant tracking software to parse the information from your resume and map it into a database. From this information, the system will assign you a score based on how well you match the job the employer is trying to fill, and then rank all sorts of candidates. Naturally, the potential employees with the highest scores move on, while others are left behind. Optimize your resume by doing these 4 things. Use the words from the job description. Look through the job listing to determine the skills required. Identify industry terms and jargon the hiring manager uses most frequently in the description, and incorporate these words into your resume when possible and applicable. The chances of the hiring manager including some of the words in the job description as tags are high, so that gives you a higher chance of being selected, or at least going through the first filter. Get rid of any images and graphics. Remember that the ATS is breaking down the information you're providing and sorting it into different buckets. It will not be able to read or understand an image. Optimize your skill section. Most employers use the ATS to search by specialized or technical skills. Make sure your resume includes any special skills you've attained, such as computer programs, strengths, competencies, and other abilities. Spell out your skills and include industry-specific abbreviations or acronyms that the employer may also search for when finding candidates with the right experience. And last but not least, Create a professional looking resume. You can do this by searching online for examples from professionals in your industry or get ideas by reading a few blogs from recruiters. Another option is to use a resume builder. There are a few options that you can find on the internet, and some of them are even free. I personally use Up2Work to build my resume and my clients' resumes. It is not too expensive, and you can create both online and PDF versions of your resume. Having a template ensures that you include all relevant information, as it serves as a guide and it makes your resume look amazing. So here's a quick view of what Up2Work looks like resumes. Right now I'm on the premium version, on the premium plan, and the premium plan allows you to also create a cover letter, so it's pretty neat because you have not only a template for your resume, but you also have a template for your cover letter, which is a topic that I'll cover later on. But it's also very important. Basically what you do is you create a new resume by clicking on the Create New Resume button, and it will take you to a page where you can choose a template. I'm on the premium version, but there's also the start version, which I believe will let you create a resume for free, and it will create an online version of that resume for you to share. However, it will not let you download it. That means you will not be able to attach it to any application or send it via email. But if you decide to go with the start plan, I believe it's a one-time purchase of about, I think it's $5 or $4.99, something like that. And you get to choose from these options over here. I'd say take into consideration the general guidelines, make sure you include the most important fields, and make sure it doesn't include like many graphics or anything that will deviate the attention from the real important information, right? So let's just choose this one, and it will automatically take you to the first page, which is the personal info. And as you can see, you have all the fields that you get to fill in with your information. And one of the most important things is to include your personal and contact information. You won't believe how many people forget to include this sort of information in the resume. So having this already created for you completely deletes that problem. So as you fill in the information and go on to the next pages, you will find more fields where you can fill in all your information. For example, right here in experience, you include the role that you performed, the company name, the time you were there, and a quick summary of your experience and your achievements during your time with that company. If you go next, you get to the skills, the education section, where you include your education information, obviously. Anything relevant that you want to include there that may be important to whoever is recruiting you for a certain position. And then if we go next, you go to the skills section, and you are also able to add or remove sections. You can include sections such as languages or courses, I believe. And if you feel like there are too many fields or too many sections in your resume, you can definitely remove them in this section. So that pretty much sums up what this platform does for you. Now that we've reached the end of this video, let's recap. Remember, define your skills based on the job opportunity that you are seeking. Highlight the skills most relevant to specific positions. Remember the project manager example? To get through the ATS, make sure you use keywords in the job description, remove any graphics and images, optimize the skills section, and build a professional looking resume. On the next video, I'll talk about the second step of the 7-step guide, which is to build your LinkedIn profile and why it's so important. If you don't have access to the 7-step guide, follow the link below or above this video for free access. Take care.